going to talk about animation. And before we start animate our character, let's talk about main windows and interface for animation. If you don't have this timeline, you can go and find some general workspace, or maybe you can even choose workspace for animation, but for animation workspace is quite difficult. Here you can find some graph editor, timeline, but for our purpose we can use some general workspace where we have timeline. We can move our frames, for example, and uh, focus on some parts of these frames, and we can change how many frames we have in the scene, and we have also these animation buttons where we can play, stop, move between frames, and also we need to have our scene, outliner, and channel box. This is minimal setup for animation from Maya. Uh, Animation is the main term of animation is moving some objects uh, according in the scene during the time. For example, now we have one sphere. The coordinates of the sphere is 0. If you want to move this sphere, you can move by using move tool. But when we play, there is nothing animation because we don't have some keyframes on these parameters. If you want to make some animation, we need to apply keyframes on our channel box on the translation, rotation, scale, even visibility, or other parameters. And if we remember that on the 0 or on the 1 frame we have these parameters, and on the 15 frames, for example, we have different parameters, it means when we play our timeline, our animation will appear. How to set animation? You can press after keyframe on, and when you press S on the keyboard, it means red keyframes starting to record this animation. If after keyframe is on and you will move your object, these keyframes will immediately write on this frame. For example, when we move our frame for the 30 and move our sphere, for example, far away from this place, it means we have this animation between 0 frame and 30 frame according to translate X, because we change only X position, and this after keyframe record these changes on the 30 frame. And now, if we play, we have this animation. We can animate every figure we have in our scene, every joint, every group. We can animate everything which have which has these attributes: translate, rotate, scale, for example. And by using set key, it means you press S on the keyboard and moving your object. If you don't have after keyframe toggle on, when you change something, you should press S on the keyboard. When you press S on the keyboard, for example, the positions will record it for all of these parameters: translate, rotate, scale, and visibility. But if you have after keyframe on, now you see this slight um, pink color instead of red color. It means you have to change something to record this S on the keyboard, for example. And now we have, for example, changes from 0 to 30. Do you remember we press after keyframe on here and move just a little bit on the x-axis. But now when we apply new animation with translate Z, now we have this uh, slight move. We have this smooth corner of moving on Z because we have changes between 0 to uh, 8 on z-axis, and here we don't have a keyframe on the 0. If we change here to 0 and press set key selected, we can even make some animation on some changes in the channel box. And now we have this heart animation, for example, heart movement. If you don't need this heart movement, you can make, you can delete maybe a keyframe, or you can how to delete keyframe. You can select necessary attribute and press break connection. But when we delete break connection, also we remove this animation on the translate Z. That's why when you animate, you need to plan your animation, how it going, how it should move, where it should move, and it means when you animate, you can do some pose animation. For example, you plan your positions of the animation, and Maya automatically will um, record this smooth in betweens between animations. For example, if we delete, go back, undo this animation, let's see the graph editor of this animation. Uh, let's open Windows and generate animation editors, graph editor. This graph editor help you to understand how uh, your object will move, and these curves record the positions of your translation, rotation, and scale. And here we have some digits, and these digits draws our graph of animation, and you can analyze how smooth your animation will appear. For example, here we have translate on the Z, and we have two changes between 0 and 60 frames. And now here we have some bezier curve uh, of animation. And it means when you see this smooth curve, Maya automatically draws some slow in and slow out effect by using this curve. If you need to hard animation and fast animation, you can change this curve, for example, to the linear interpolation. With a linear, you have this rapid animation. And if we undo, you can see this speed will fast in beginning and fast in the end, but really smooth in between. When you work on animation, the main reason and the main purpose of animation is something to create something natural, and movement of your character should be some have some character itself and shows and describe your character. And when you want to animate something, you should understand the principles of animation. Now we can see Maya automatically adjust some smooth and slow in and slow out effect by calculating this graph in the smooth way. It means we have to understand 12 principles of animations. And now we can see some description of these 12 principles of animations. Uh, this is a saint graal for animators. For example, if you want to animate something, even in UX UI interface, even in motion design, even especially for the character design, you need to understand these 12 principles of animation. Yes, I'm recording. I hope. And here you can find some interesting tutorials according to these animations. I can share with you, and also we can watch now and try to analyze which principles of animation we just used when we animate our circle. Uh, Here we have also some most important things about animation, and let's watch this one. according to the question stage, we will not use this question stage, but sometimes in Disney they commonly use this question stage effect to exaggerate the character and make some more appeal of this character. But we will use anticipation, for example, when character want to move something, we can also understand this anticipation will make some more impact on this movement in the animation. This straight ahead and goes pose to pose animation we also use in Maya. For example, when we set keys, for example, on the 0 frame and second key on the 12th frame and in between, Maya will calculate automatically. It means this is a pose-to-pose animation, and now you can also hear a description of this process. slow in and slow out, we also see before this series of principles when we animate the ball, the sphere, and the sphere will, if we have this smooth graph inside of the Maya, we also have this slow in and slow out effect.
Well, refers to the way pretty much all movement starts slowly, builds speed, and finishes slowly. This is one of the most important principles to achieve lifelike motion. Without slow in, slow out, things feel mechanical. That's because robots are one of the only things that actually move their parts at a constant speed. To use this principle in 2D animation, you take your extreme poses, draw a single in between, and then draw in between those, then only in between the drawings closest to the extremes, until you're satisfied with the amount of slow in and slow out. With 3D animation and motion graphics, adding slow in and slow out is a matter of changing the motion curves from linear to spline by adjusting the Bezier angles. As time progresses, the object starts slow, gets fast, and ends slow. Use it wisely. For example, you wouldn't add a slow out of a bouncing ball as it's colliding with the ground, but you would add it as it's bouncing back up. You wouldn't add it to a bullet coming out of a gun, but you would add it as the gun comes up due to whiplash. Using this principle can allow you to only have to draw one in between if the motion is quick enough. Draw one in between and then add another frame at either end, with the drawing slightly skewed in the correct direction, and then it's done. Sometimes you don't even have to add one in between. This kind of motion can be achieved in 3D with very extreme curves. Many people starting out with animation get impatient and draw the next frame very far away from the beginning. It's very unrealistic for a character to go from completely still to super fast, so add a few drawings to ease into it will fix the problem. A good way to fix a choppy animation is to analyze the space between the drawings. They should be evenly spaced, with drawings closer together at the beginning of the action and at the end of the action, and drawings farther apart in the middle. Alright, the seventh principle of animation is called arcs. So very few organisms are capable of movements that have a mechanical in and out or up and down decision. Most living creatures will move in a circular path, otherwise known as an arc. So let's say that we were given these key poses and we're told to fill in the poses in between. Simply taking the midway point between the poses will not work because this looks way too mechanical. The ball needs to follow an arc. Of course, we also need to consider the slow in and out caused by gravity. When doing this in 3D and motion graphics, we can achieve this effect by keeping the movement in the x-axis constant, but giving the movement in the y-axis a slow in and a slow out. This will give the ball its arc, and also its head turn. Right now it looks pretty dull and straight, but if we add an arc to it, it gives it a little bit more character. Forgetting about arcs can lead to some obvious mistakes. For example, we may in between this movement by calculating the midpoint like this, cause the shape of the object to shrink. If we were to draw a simple arc as reference, then this movement would be a lot easier and more realistic. Arcs can be added to almost any figure movement. This guy is landing on the ground. Let's have his body settle in an arc. This guy is reacting to the shock. Let's have his body and arms follow an arc. This guy is taking a step. Have his body move down and up in an arc before he even takes his next step. This guy is kicking. Have his leg and body follow through in an arc. When movements are very fast, you can add arcs in the form of a smear. Take the beginning and end pose and draw an arc in between and fill it in the same color as the object, maybe slightly transparent or fragmented towards the end of the action. Okay, the next principle is called secondary action. This principle is all.
This secondary action is also useful for your animation. When you design your animation, you can also plan the secondary action.
But associated with overlapping action. Although, according to Frank and Ollie, it means something very different. Secondary action describes gestures that support the main action to add more dimension to the character animation. For example, a character may be walking angrily. The primary action is the legs, and the secondary action is everything else. The arms swinging, the head bobbing, and the facial movement.
Hey, I'm Susie, and I'm one of the AI pieces from VoiceOver. My voice sounds so important.
Let's say a character
how many frames between some poses. For example, if you have uh, first position and the second position really close, but there is so many frames for this animation, it means this ball will move really slow. But if you have some much amplitude and less frames, this means your animation will be fast. And now you can to animate and understand how to manage this time and speed for your animation, and how to calculate how many frames we need for some kind of animations.
One simple action like that tends to turn meaningless depending on how many frames you give it. This man is leaping from one shoulder to the other, with no in-betweens. It looks like his head is getting hit by a tremendous force, nearly snapping off his neck. With one in-between, his head has been hit by a rolling pin or some other object. With two in-betweens, he has muscle twitch. With three in-betweens, he's dodging the rolling pin with the other object. With four, he's saying, "Move it, get out of here." With five, he's friendly, saying, "Over here, come on, hurry." With six, he's going with a sports car he always wanted. With seven, he's trying to get a better look at something. With eight, he's searching for the peanut butter on the kitchen shelf. With nine, he is appraising something very thoughtfully. And with 10 in-betweens, he is stretching his core muscle. The standard frame rate for movies is 24 frames per second. If one drawing is made for each frame, 24 drawings per second, that is called drawing on ones. If one drawing is made for every two frames, that's called drawing on twos. And every three drawings is threes, and so on. It's actually very common to draw on twos rather than ones for a few reasons. First, it cuts the amount of work in half. Second, it actually makes slow actions look smoother than if you were to draw every frame, because the precision needed to draw in between two very close drawings can lead to the animation looking jittery. Some would also say that drawing on twos is better for fast actions as well, because it gives a sparkle and spirit to the animation that would otherwise be too evenly timed and less lively if it were drawn on ones. But drawing on ones is necessary when there's a very fast action that needs to be ready, often to scramble or a flurry of activity. And it's also everyone's choice how many drawings to put in between poses. Some people draw more or less frames depending on how much movement there is. This can give a very dynamic effect to the animation. So the next principle is called exaggeration. Basically, every action, pose, and expression can be taken to the next level to increase the amount of impact on the viewer. So the early animators at Disney would get confused because Walt would tell them to add more realism, but then when they changed it, he would criticize the result because it wasn't exaggerated enough. In Walt's mind, there was probably no difference. Making it more realistic didn't mean make the physics and proportions more consistent with reality, but rather make the idea or essence of the action more apparent and real. So if a character was sad, make him sadder. Bright, make him brighter. Worried, make him more worried. Wild, make him.
And also, this exaggeration principle is only for the cartoon movies where we use some comic effect, like in the Disney. We will not use some exaggeration, but previous timing, slow in and slow out, pose to pose animation, this is really useful to make your animation more realistic and more smooth, more natural.
Him wilder. Exaggeration doesn't mean more distorted, but more convincing. It's amazing how you can always add exaggeration. His animation looks finished, right? But let's give it some exaggeration. Now I'll compare the two. The first one definitely looks less powerful, even though earlier we thought it was finished. When motions are quick, the exaggeration needs to be bigger in order to be noticed. The still frame looks way too extreme to be realistic, but when you play it in motion, it looks less extreme. That's because
This was 12 principles of animations. This is really powerful tool for every animators, instead even for drawing animators and 3D animators. Some of these principles really useful when you animate in 3D. For example, slow in and slow out. Now you understand how this graph and why this graph is smooth. And if you want to change this animation, you can change this graph in Maya and make from uh, smooth to line. And now we have this really fast and line animation. With line animation, you can see there is no slow in and slow out effect and really rough animation. But if we apply some smooth animation here, we can select keyframes in Maya and make some curves here. Or even by a hand you can change it. And now we can see this slow in and slow out effect. And about timing, now we have some frames here, and we have adjustments that 1 second will be 24 frames per second. We can change it on the 30 frames per second or even on the 30 frames per second. But for this animation, I will use 24 frames per second. Because in traditional cartoon animation we have only 24 frames per second, and we will keep the settings here according to this 24 frames per second, and calculate our speed according to these settings. For example, 1 second will be 21st per second. For example, if you want to change your animation for 1 second, you can move these frames. I'm selecting frames on the timeline by pressing the left mouse button and shift. When you press shift, you can select spreadsheet of these keyframes. For example, you can draw and move this keyframe. And if you play, now we have only 1 second of animation, and it is really fast. If you want to slow in this animation, you can even how it calls stretch these keyframes according to the timeline, also by selecting these animations. And also let's play, and now it's really slow. Uh, by using only timeline and keyframes, you can animate everything you have. And in the graph editor, you also can change some curves, apply some smoothness for your animation. And let's go to our character and make some first animation about uh, idle animation. For the idle animation, also you can use some references in YouTube. You can draw idle animation reference, and you will find some many videos for idle animation. Even when animators create some character, they record themselves how they move and break down this video to the poses and animate poses, and after that add in betweens, for example, smooth this animation, make some more secondary actions, and we have ready animation. For example, this is idle animation. And also, what is really matter for idle animation, it is starting of this animation and ending of this animation should be the same pose, because in games, idle animations every time have loop of this animation. For example, we will not animate the character for the 10 minutes. For example, if your character in the idle pause will be in the 10 minutes, you should record only maybe 10 seconds or 15 seconds, and then this animation will be played on the loop, and you can spawn your character with the idle animation and forget about them. They will look natural, and this idle loop help you to cover this time, for example, no matter how, and you can understand how many poses will be in your idle animation, and first pose and last pose should be the same. For your task, you can use only some simple breeze animation for your character. For example, you can create something more natural, uh, or you can make some interesting animation also, according to your time. If you don't have a lot of time, you can create some uh, simple animation. But your character should be more uh, should be like in real life, for example. Idle animation means your character alive and do some boring stuff. This means this is idle animation. And this is also a good example of idle animation. For example, character breathes, make something, and just stop. Okay, for task for animation, we with Dana set your parameters, for example, from 5 seconds to 15 seconds. You means if you don't have a lot of time, you can animate this animation cycle for idle for the 5 seconds. For example, let's try to make something for 5 seconds, and we need to calculate our frames first. Let's open my calculate. And we have 24 frames per second, and let's plan for the 5 seconds. We need only 112 20 frames, and you can draw in your timeline this amount of frames, and now you have only 5 seconds animation. And also, when you start animation, you can pose your character, or you can go back to the T-pose and make your pose again. It depends on what kind of animation you are planning to do. Okay, I will find my control rig here. Okay, for the control rig, when you want to go back to the T-pose, you can use stance pose. And we are going to do some idle animation for the today's lecture and walk cycle animation on the next lecture. We can do it in the separate files. And in Unity, we are going to collect them together. That's why I'm going to save our reserve copy with finished rig and paint weighted when you have all of these controllers, and let's make a copy for the animation idle. Okay, we can also use this pose for idle animation, for example. Let's move my character. And we need to select all of our controllers and make some keyframe on the first frame. I'm going to use only controllers for animation. That's why I'm recording this animation on all of these controllers. Also in Maya we can create a quick selected set uh, on the shelf. Here we have some vers- Okay, let's create a set, a quick selected set. In the create, you can find sets and quick selected set. We can call this all controllers. And add to the shelf. It should be appear here, but also we can use this one. These all controllers appear here. And let's start our animation and press S on the keyboard, and now we have first keyframe. Let's copy this first keyframe on this last frame, or maybe we can do it later. For example, and now we are going to, where is my eyes? Interesting. Okay, we're going to make some pose-to-pose animation, and we need to find some reference for our animation. Let's do something like this with one gesture. For example, our character will stay with arms movement like he's breathing, and maybe only this breathing with moving arms. And let's go back for the first frame. Let's set up our pose. Okay. After keyframe is off, and also we should press on this after keyframe. uh, it's better, and but be careful with this after keyframe, because sometimes you not move your frames on the timeline, and you will re-record your animation. For example, you already do some pose on this keyframe, but not switch to another frame, and you can overwrite your animation. But also, if you don't have after keyframe, you should every time, for example, when you finish pose, press S on the keyboard to keyframe your changes. Um, I think with after keyframe on is better, but don't forget about uh, in which frame you are working and in which pose you are working now. I am every time forgetting press S on the keyboard. That's why first thing what I'm done, I'm recorded all my controllers into the set and press S on the keyboard. And all of these changes will record automatically because I press after keyframe on. And now I can do my first pose. Okay. When the first pose is ready, we can move to another pose. For example, after 1 second on the 24th frame, we can change maybe some weight to another leg. We can move this character and make some movement of the arms. And now we have some slight animation. My eyes, when animation plays, will go away somewhere. Maybe this is about the selection set. Maybe I will delete this and let's see. No, its eyes disappear when the animation plays. This is really strange. Okay, let's continue. And now we finished some first pose for character. When we move slowly, and on the second we want to change this position for legs and move on another side, maybe make some rotation, make some moves for your arms. Now you see I'm using one frame for all of these body movements. This means I'm going to make some pose to pose animation. When I finish this posing, I can make some in-betweens and make some slight secondary actions for the arms or maybe something else. But if you have already good uh, result, you can even not do in between frames. For example, here I can move some my arm a little bit like this. This means I created only one uh, gesture for this frame, only for this arm. And other body movement recorded on the 21st frame and on the 57 frames. And now let's also continue, do some animation, and maybe we can go back our character. And let's see what else we are going to do. We can also can we can select all of our controllers and make last keyframe the same uh, with first frame. And when we play in the loop, we can also see continuous movement with this character. Let's copy this keyframe and we can pass with the right mouse button to the last keyframe. And now we have from the first pose, we have some movement, idle movement, do this again for the first frame. And now we didn't see some mischanges or some fast movement between first and last keyframe. And now we have only 5-second animation, but the character can move infinite while we'll stop our character, and when we stop, the animation will stop. When you do your first iteration with the animation and understand the main position of your character is correct, you can add some small polishing for your animation. For example, in this position, you can also move your arm somewhere. You can move it. You can even make some more amplitude here. And also you can focus on your body arms, for example. On the first keyframe, in the beginning we have this pose. For example, at the end we can change it. We can make some movement for your arms also. If you have to change some poses and you want to delete some animation from your controllers, you can select all of these controllers and can delete keyframes from these controllers. And now you will have this animation. But the first position and last position should be the same. Or if you want to delete, you can also delete from the first keyframe and from the last keyframe. It's strange. In previous version of Maya, when you delete on the selected keyframes, all animation will not delete it. But now it was deleted. That's why I'm undo some animation from this. Okay, we can fix these poses. By my hand. Maybe here I'm going to also make some movement for these arms. Don't forget to switch between frames and be careful with these frames what you're working on. For example, if you just press like here, you will also create some new keyframe point. You can move between these poses by clicking on this step forward one key. You can move between these key positions and make some adjustments and polish your animation. For example, if you I'm going to polish animation on another near keyframe, maybe some Miss Maya will can make some miss points or maybe something like this. Better to use your keyframe positions and move between them and apply some animation and in betweens. Make some secondary actions on also on these keyframes positions. This is better for manage your animation. And also we can rotate. I think my rotation for the arms is broken because when I move something, it moves not perfectly. To summarize, we have idle animation and we have timing for this animation. For example, from 5 seconds to 15 seconds, it means you can plan your number of frames in Maya and plan your poses. First, make some big poses, for example, for the whole body. When you finish this first main movement, you can adjust some small details, for example, for the arms, for the polish your positions for arms or maybe head. And when you finished, you can also create some recording of your animation and apply into Teams. And also you can use and watch some reference. When you use some reference, you can even understand where to put your body from pose to pose. For example, uh, if you see some big changes, you can stop and redraw this pose for your character. By using the reference for your idle animation, you can use some YouTube. You can also record yourself. For example, you want to move your character something like in the games. You can also record idle animation from the game and break down this reference into the small poses into the big poses and first into the big poses. For example, your character move into the right, the second big pose into the left, and first you create this movement for the whole body. When you finished and planning all your poses, for example, like here, you can go back to the beginning and add some small details for the arms movement, for the head movement, and but your main uh, movement is already created, and according to the your main movement, you will understand where you need to add some more secondary actions, for example. And also, don't forget about after keyframe, and don't forget to go to another frame. And also use this button to go from your poses and work in these poses. Why I'm telling you, because when you want to change some pose, you can select all of your controllers and move this one keyframe for all of these controllers to another place. And you can change some timing, for example, for these poses. These keyframes poses uh, can be easy for managing instead of small poses in every frame, for example. And when you finish, don't forget to save your work, and also you can look through ready animation, and also don't forget about first pose and last pose in your cycle should be the same. If these poses will be exactly the same, for example, you're just copying all of your keyframes, all of your controllers from the zero frame to the last frame. And when these frames is the same, you can record this idle animation loop cycle, and there will be smooth loop for your animation. Since I think we've done for today, I have really rough animation for my character, just a slight movement, like this character alive and moves from one leg to another leg. You also can do the same or create some interesting gestures for your character, and good luck with your animation, and we've done for today.